Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do an interlocking shell stitch. And this is a beautiful stitch. This is inspired by autumn in all the beautiful colors. Originally, this pattern is worked in two colors, A and B. But because I want to do a gradient effect, I'm going to be working my background color in A, in the mushroom color. And B is going to be interchanged. So this is going to be B, this is B, this is B, this is B, but this is color 1, 2, and 3. So let's get started. To save some time, I worked on my chains, and this pattern is worked in multiples of 6 plus 3. You lose 2 to the height. You're going to count 2 chains, 1, 2, from your hook. And on that third one, you are going to put 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. And that starting 3 chains that you lose count as a double crochet. So now you have 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to skip 2 chains, 1 and 2, and I'm going to place a single crochet on that third chain. I'm going to skip 2 chains, 1, 2, and on the following chain, I'm going to place 5 double crochets. One, two, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to skip 2, 1, 2, and on this third chain, I'm going to place a single crochet. And this is the pattern I will be repeating. Skip 2, 1, 2, and on that third one, I'm going to place 5 double crochets. 5. I'm going to skip 2, 1, 2, and on that third one, I'm going to place a single crochet. I'm going to skip 2, 1, and 2, and I'm going to put a 5 single crochets. That's all we're doing in this first row. If we did this right, we should have 3 single crochets left. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip 2, 1 and 2. And on that last chain, we're going to put 3 double crochets, and don't close up the last double crochet because that's where you're going to start with your color change. So from this point forward, you can change your color however you want. If you want to do a magic knot, this is where you would do it. If you want to attach however you want to attach it. One thing that you cannot do is leave this without cutting. You have to cut it because you're going to start here, you're going to work your way up here, but your color change for this mushroom color or for your base color is going to start on this side to work your way up this way. So you will have to cut it. So I'm going to start off with my green color. I'm simply going to attach it here. To start row number 2, we're going to turn our work and we're going to chain 1. On that very first stitch, which would be your last double crochet from the previous row, this is where we're going to place our first single crochet. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and from here we're going to do 5 double crochets together into each of these next 5 stitches. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to put our hook into the next stitch, pull through, and we're only going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Let's work that one more time. We're going to yarn over, we're going to go into the following stitch, we're going to yarn over and pull through, and we're only going to pull through the first 2 loops. Now you have 2 single crochets. You see 1 and 2. And you can count them by the loops, 1 and 2. So we need to have 5, so we're going to keep going. We're going to go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull, pull through. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 double crochets together. This loop doesn't count. That's your leading loop. So it doesn't count. So you're going to go into that 5th and final double crochet. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 only. So now we have 5. Now we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through all 6 of them. All 6 of the loops. You're going to close it up and then you're going to chain 2. 1 and 2. So now we're going to go into the next stitch, which would be this one. And we're going to put a single crochet. We're going to chain 2. 1, 2. We're going to yarn over and we're going to repeat the same thing from over here, the 5 double crochets together. So let's work this one more time. We're going to put our hook into the following stitch, yarn over. You're only pulling through 2 loops. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, and you're only pulling through the first 2 loops. Yarn over, into the next stitch. We're not skipping any stitches. We're working into each and every one of them. When in doubt, count them. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you can count the loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember that last one doesn't count. That's your leading loop. So once you have all 5, you yarn over and pull through all 6 of those loops. You're going to pull through to close it. And now you're just going to chain 2. 1 and 2. And you're going to put a single crochet into the following stitch. Chain 2. And that's the pattern you're repeating. Remember, if you need to slow down the video, you can do so by going onto the settings of the video and you will be able to put it into a much slower speed in case you need it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there will be timestamps in case you want to move forward and you want to go into the next row. Okay, so we're at the end. We have one more stitch right here to go. So we're going to close it up and we're going to chain 2. 1 and 2. And we're finishing off this row with a single crochet on that turning chain. Now, don't close it up because we're going to go back and change into our first color. So at this point, you would cut this second color. I'm not going to do that because I'm only going to work a very small sample and I don't want to have pieces of the screen flying all over my craft room. So we're going to attach it. To begin row number 3, we're going to turn our work and we are going to chain 3. And this chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So in this very first space, the very first stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets. So we're going to skip these 2 chains, and where we closed our cluster, or where you see all the loops coming together, that's where we're going to put our single crochet. We're going to skip these 2 chains, and we're going to put 5 double crochets. And these are normal double crochets, they're not together. So it's just 5 regular old double crochets. And this is what you're going to repeat. You're going to skip these 2 chains, and where all the loops get together, that's where you're going to put a single crochet. You're going to skip these 2 chains right here. And on this single crochet, we're going to put 5 double crochets. And that is regular double crochets, not together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go into where the cluster meets, and we're going to put a single crochet. We're going to go into this single crochet and put 5 double crochets. And you're going to work your way to the end of the row. So once we get to the end of the row, we're going to ignore these 2 chains, and we're going to go into the single crochet, and we're going to put 3 double crochets. That's how we're going to finish this 3rd row. And remember, at the very last pull through, don't close, because we're going to go with another color change. This color change, I'm going to go into my sun gold color. So from this point forward, we're going to be repeating rows number 2 and number 3. So to make this easier is color B and color A. So if you were working with just 2 colors, you would go back into your color B. But since I'm not, I'm going to work into my second color B. So B2, I guess. The 5 together are always in color, and the regular normal 5 double crochets are always in your background color. So this is simply going to be a repeat of row number 2. So I'm just going to work it, and I'll catch you when I'm done. I stopped right here just to show you, if you want a straight edge, you would have to stop at a color. Now, if you want your project to have some symmetry and you don't want to stop abruptly the pattern, and you want maybe a border, if you put a border, then you're going to have an extra mushroom, or extra mushroom. You're going to have an extra row here of your background color. So you have to plan according with your border. In case you don't want to do that, or you want to have just that very nice symmetric look to your project, I would plan accordingly. So for example, I would just do the 2nd row in the same color as my background. So then I would just have 2 rows here of this mushroom color. I would continue with the pattern, and then on my last row, my color row, instead of doing a color change, I would simply keep going with the background color. That way you have 2 rows of the same color at the top and at the bottom of your project. It's just something to think about and to plan accordingly, just in case you want to use this, but you want some kind of symmetry. Like I said, this is an autumn inspired sample. This is a great project. They look like leaves. If you turn them like this, they look so pretty. Even like this would look really nice. The sky is the limit with this pattern. It does remind me a lot of leaves and foliage. I know they're supposed to be shells, but it's just so pretty. You can use this for Christmas if you go with this green and this kind of grayish mushroom color, or cream or white. It will look like a mistletoe. If you want to do a very cream and more sage color, then you would be able to use this pattern for maybe like the spring, the summer. The sky is the limit. So I think this is a wonderful pattern to use year round. If you do make something with this pattern, don't forget to tag us on Instagram. We're over there and we want to see all your beautiful creations. And yeah, if you like this video, leave a thumbs up. Thank you for being here. Bye.